Disaster reveals character more than comfort ever does. And when the winds rise and the waters overflow, you see clearly who clings to compassion and who secretly schemes to profit from pain. The Buddha once said in the Dhammapada, verse 116, "Should one see a wise man who, like a revealer of treasure, points out faults and reproves, let him follow such a sage. It will be better, not worse, for him." This truth warns that when calamity strikes, the fault does not lie in the storm itself, but in the hidden greed of those who use it as an opportunity to deceive. You may have seen how news of a typhoon spreads, how images of fallen roofs and twisted trees circulate, sometimes staged, sometimes exaggerated, and how quickly cries for donations appear. Yet beneath these cries, there can lurk a hunger not for helping hands, but for personal gain, a hunger that feeds off the kindness of those who trust too easily. The Lotus Sutra teaches the good roots that living beings plant shall not be lost, though for 100 or 1,000 kalpas they shall bear fruit. But when generosity is stolen, misused, or diverted by deceit, the karmic ripples do not vanish. They return with weight, shaping the deceiver's path with suffering that cannot be hidden. The secret here is that false compassion is heavier than cruelty because it wears the robe of goodness while planting seeds of mistrust. The Lankavatara Sutra warns of the danger of clinging to appearances, reminding us that to mistake shadows for substance is to be trapped in illusion, and this illusion magnifies suffering for both victim and deceiver alike. Think of the man who builds his wealth upon the tears of disaster. What kind of dwelling can he truly inhabit? He may count his coins, but within him burns the fire described in the fire sermon, Aditapariyaya Sutta, where the Buddha said, all is burning. Burning with the fire of greed, with the fire of hatred, with the fire of delusion. What appears as cleverness to the world is in truth self-destruction. For to drink from poisoned water is still to drink poison, no matter how sweet the taste. Yet you too must be careful, for compassion without discernment can be manipulated, and generosity without mindfulness can be exploited. The Agama Sutra, Volume 32, Sutta 472, records the Buddha's counsel. A fool is known by his giving in haste. The wise give with examination of place, time, and need. Here lies a shocking warning. You are not asked to stop giving, but to see clearly where your giving flows. For blind giving can cause harm equal to neglect. This is not a call to harden your heart, but to awaken it more deeply, to let wisdom walk hand in hand with kindness. When you pause, breathe, and look deeply, you can distinguish the true cry of suffering from the staged performance of greed. And in doing so, your compassion becomes like a clear stream that reaches the thirsty, not a flood that drowns the fields. The Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta 61, preserves the Buddha's words to Rahula. Develop a mind like the earth, enduring, unshaken, without hostility. This endurance is the strength you need to resist manipulation and still hold open your palm to genuine need. Consider this. Every time falsehood spreads in the name of compassion, the trust of many is broken, and those who truly need support find the doors closed. Yet even here, the Dharma whispers, do not let the deceit of a few extinguish the lamp of your heart. For the nature of light is to shine regardless of the shadows that seek to cover it. The Heart Sutra reminds us, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. This means that even the disaster, the destruction, the exploitation, and the greed are not fixed entities. They rise and pass like clouds, and only your awakened response shapes whether they deepen suffering or reveal wisdom. So the question is not whether disaster will come, for storms and earthquakes have visited this world for thousands of years, but whether you will meet them with clarity or with blindness, with compassion or with exploitation. The shocking secret is that disaster itself does not harm the heart. The real disaster is when compassion is twisted into currency, when trust is stolen, and when kindness is betrayed. Yet you hold within you the power to guard against this by aligning your giving with mindfulness, by questioning without suspicion, by offering without vanity, and by standing firm in the knowledge that true generosity never seeks reward. In the end, ask yourself, will you be one who builds comfort upon the cries of others, or one who, like the Bodhisattva described in the Vimalakirti Sutra, enters the marketplace of suffering yet remains undefiled, guiding resources to where they are most needed? This is your invitation, not to fear giving, not to retreat into cynicism, but to let wisdom guide your compassion so that even in the midst of storms, your heart becomes a shelter, your kindness becomes a true refuge, and your life itself becomes the Dharma in action. And if you wish to continue cultivating mindfulness and wisdom, please subscribe and walk together with our community as we explore profound reflections on the Dharma. Each modern discourse will be a step bringing you closer to the truth. May you always be peaceful, clear-minded, and pure on your path of awakening. Farewell, and see you again